Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome
Hare
to
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna Sutapa Mataji, and I did see
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Ishwari Radha, and I see Priyanka Mataji joining us there, and Khyati is also there. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I won't be able to read today and might have to drop at 7. So.
You are dropping at 7. Where are you going so early and leaving us off?
I have a presentation at 8 o'clock. Mataji.
All right, you do great, and you put in some shlokas in your presentation.
Yes. Sure.
All righty, good luck. Too huge, yeah. Okay, so I just need a few seconds here to check and see whether we are broadcasting on Facebook. I did try, and I do see that we are live there. Okay, very good. Just bear with a few minutes. It might replay some of the old stuff there.
I have a presentation
well, I switch it off.
at 8 o'clock.
All right. This is so crazy. Okay, welcome Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu and Achitarade Mataji as Neha Mataji. And while we are waiting for Suyash Prabhu to come and join us, we will still get started with the Vigyapti Panchika prayers. And I will try. Oh, Suyash Prabhu is there. Okay, good. Suyash Prabhu, you can do the order. And while I bring up and today I'm being good. I'm giving you presentation rights right now before I forget. Okay, so I'll bring it to share my screen, and I'll need somebody to confirm. Can you see the Vidyapti Panchika prayers here coming up? Are they big enough? Are they small? What's the deal there?
It's good, Mataji.
It is good? Okay, then. If you are
good. Oh, no. Some of the words are,
Sanskrit. Sutapa, just Sanskrit. Is the Sanskrit okay? This part?
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Okay, good. Yes, I'll come back and adjust it again. Yeah, Sanskrit, I want to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see the dots, etc. like that, right? That there's a dot underneath the S and things like that. Okay, so we will get going here today. Om Ajnanatimarandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma naparadhi cha kaschana
parihare pirajame kim bhuve.
Go ahead, Varshana, complete it. Kim bhuve purushottama yuvati nam yata yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha mano bhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvayi bhumao skhalita padanam bhumirevavalambanam tvayi jata paradhanam tvameva sharanam prabhu Govinda Vallabhe Radhe Prarthaye tvam aham sada twadiyam iti janatu govindo mam tvaya saha. Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karunamritavahini Kripaya Nij Padabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the font just a little bit here, and if someone can confirm, come out of mute and tell me, can you read this properly? Or
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Here? Okay, perfect. So, Suyash Prabhu, reading order, please.
Sutapa Mataji, Ishwari Radhika Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Priyanka Mataji, Khyati Mataji, Suyash, Shraddha Mataji.
All righty. So, yeah, we're going then with the Sanskrit, with the translations, please.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, if you can make it a little bit bigger, the words,
Not
the
it
English.
clear?
Yeah,
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah.
Better? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man, and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
Who goes after you? Is it me? No, right?
O Srimati Radha Rani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavan, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
All right, so election time.
Mataji, Kripya Nija Padabja Darshamayam Pradiyatam.
All right, and you said that without looking anywhere, right?
Yeah, Mataji, looking at you.
Okay, good. See,
So give me a little service at your feet.
at your feet, yeah, but in the mind, you're looking at Radharani, right? Not at me. Okay, so we had homework yesterday, right? And what was the homework?
To write
Write down what.
Did you
What
write?
remember
Show
from
me,
Vidya?
from
show
your
me where you
memory.
wrote. Yeah, show me where you wrote. Did you write it on piece of paper or you wrote it mentally somewhere? Ishwari Dada did that homework. She gets 125 points for doing that. Yeah, when you write it down, then you will know where you are, right? Okay, good. Yeah, please continue with your reflections. And those on Facebook, joining us on Facebook, and Shubhavan Prabhu. Vidyavadhu says that Karuna Amrita Vahini. Yes, very nice. She took the nectar today. Vashana, Vidyavadhu took all the nectar in Pune. Veenu Koli Mataji, Dandat Pranam, Namazya, Dandat Pranam as well. Okay. Yeah, please share your reflections. And we have a devotee joining us, but the name is in Bengali and I'm not able to read it. But nevertheless, please accept my humble obeisances and thank you for joining us here. Okay.
Govinda Vallabhe Radhe.
Govinda Vallabhe Radhe. Okay.
Govindo Mama Tvaya Saha. Consider me as one of your assistants.
Assistants. All right. Okay. Good. So, Suyash, are you ready to give us the Bhagavad Gita?
Give me shelter at your lotus
Lotus
feet.
feet. There you go. Okay, good. Very good.
Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu.
Tvameva Sharanam Prabhu. Yes, you are my shelter. Okay. Good, 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 good. So yes, will you give us?
Sinner
Are you
is
able?
as bad as I am.
Nobody is as bad as I am. Ooh. It takes a lot of courage to say that, isn't it?
But actually, that's a reality.
That is true, but isn't it amazing that to share the reality, it requires so much of courage? So what comes in between?
Our false ego, my
Your
false ego.
Yeah, our false ego. Yeah, ours. We all belong to the same category. We are all here because of a false ego. Okay, good. Any other reflections? Any other last reflections before we go to Bhagavad Gita? Okay, good. Then let's get started. Who comes next?
My turn, Mataji.
All right, Kyati.
Chapter 2, Contents of Gita Summarized. Text 1. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna, spoke the following words. Text 2. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to a higher planet, but to infamy. Hare Krishna.
O son of O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship?
Text 5. It will be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. 6. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Now I am confused about my duty and lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel in even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling, in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. 12. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in future shall any of us cease to be. Hare Krishna.
Text 13. Prabhu, can you scroll, make it a little bit down? Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Text 13. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O Scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
Text 15. O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and is steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Text 16. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of.
That which pervades the entire body, you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata.
Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he thinks it slain, is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, everlasting, and primal. He is not slain when the body is slain.
O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
Text 25. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. If, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed.
Mataji, you might be reading on mute.
She's
Oh,
taking
sorry. Yeah, sorry, Prabhu. Text 27, 26.
seven.
Oh, no. Do I start at 27?
Yeah.
Text 27. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation?
Some look on the soul as amazing, some describe him as amazing, and some hear of him as amazing, while others, even after hearing about him, cannot understand him at all. Text 30. O descendant of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being.
Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles, and so there is no need for hesitation. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets.
If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death.
The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you?
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right. So we will do 8 today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, I'll read. 8, no? Nahi prapashyami mam apnudyat. Mataji, 7 or 8?
8.
Nahi prapashyami mam apanudyat yachokam uchchokshanam indriyanam avapya bhumav asaptanam raddadham rajyam suranamapi cha adhipatyam. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. It's a difficult word. It's a difficult verse, but you did a good job.
No, do not. He certainly. Prapashyami, I see. Mama, my. Apanudyat, drive away. Prabhu, can you scroll a little bit down? Yeah, that can drive away. Yat, that which. Shokam, lamentation. Uchoshanam, drying up. Indriyanam, of the senses. Avapya, achieving. Bhumau, on the earth. Asapantam, asaptanam, without rival. Ridham, prosperous. Rajyam, kingdom. Suranam, of the demigods. Api, even. Cha, also. Adhipatyam, supremacy.
Haribol. Okay, so before we go into the translation, just bear with me. Suyash Prabhu, I've sent you a link. If you can share the link to, it's a link to my Facebook page. I just wanted to show something to you here. Suyash Prabhu, I sent it to you in the chat window, in the Zoom chat.
Yes, Mataji, I could open it. You want me to
share it? Yeah. Before we go into the translation, just bear with me. Suyash Prabhu, I've sent you a link. You have to switch off the sound. It's a link to. Yeah, it'll start. If you scroll down, and scroll down and show, there's a live video going on, but there should be something before that also, right? In yellow and pink color.
Yes.
Yeah. If you can bring that up, don't play it, okay? Just bring that up and share it. Share that screen with us.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So if you go to my Facebook page, then you will see that for the verse that I'm doing currently, like on that day, or sometimes the verse spans many days. So you will see the pronunciation for all the verses. Like if you want to practice and see how it's being done, then it is over here. So I just thought I'll let you know. I just started it for a few verses ago. So it's not, all of the verses are not there, but continuing, going forward, I'll try my best to do that. Okay. Yeah, sorry about the interruption, but now we can go back to the translation for 2.8. And
that is very useful, Mataji. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Hare Krishna, Mataji, I want to make one small request. Mataji, whenever you read the shloka in Sanskrit, it would be nice if we all also repeat it after you. After you means once you say it, when you recite it, then we also, so that we get our tongue gets used to the Sanskrit verse.
How to pronounce it. Yeah, that's a very good point, and we do that in all the ISKCON classes, right? And the reason I'm not doing it, and the reason I have done it this way, like put it on the Facebook page so that you can listen to that, is because the way Zoom works, the way Zoom works, when multiple people start talking, then it goes very crazy. You can't hear half of that, and it's a complete chaos. So if you try that, like I say something, and that's why you notice that I'm always insisting, keep yourself on mute, keep yourself on mute. Zoom has its own algorithm, and Suyash Prabhu was trying to explain that to me yesterday also, as to how Zoom actually operates. And so we tried that, in the beginning of the coronavirus, when we went and started broadcasting on Zoom, it was like we do all the bhajans at the temple, right? And everybody sings together. And we tried that. It was a disaster. And that's why nowadays, I don't know if you've noticed, but at ISV, we just unmute Avantika. Because Avantika has got Bharat sitting next to her. And then Bharat, by the way, is Priyanka Mataji's son. And so both of them sing. And at that time, Vaisheshika Prabhu is quiet. And then when Vaisheshika Prabhu is singing, everybody is quiet like that, right? So it's a challenge. It's a challenge to do that. But yeah, and that is
I didn't know that technicality
exactly.
problem.
Yeah. That's why you see, I'm always kind of going crazy, like, switch off your microphone, switch off your microphone. And another thing that happens is that a lot of people listen to these recordings later. And so sometimes for us, it's okay when we see suddenly something dropping because we see you dropping or somebody else drops something and the noise comes. So it's okay. But when person is just, listening to it later, they might not be able to appreciate those kind of background noises. I'm always saying,
Right.
switch off. So that's the reason, yeah.
Yes, Mataji, I posted and I post your lectures, Mataji, on Facebook. And my brother-in-law has also started listening to them, and he's feeling very happy about it, Mataji.
Very good. I hope your brother-in-law starts some exercise and starts jumping from Facebook to Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for spreading Krishna's words. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Mataji, and I request everyone to do that.
Very good. You got some homework. You got some homework. All right. Yeah. So yeah, sorry about that digression there. Yeah.
Translation.
So one thing that I was also going to say was that, I try to post it before the class starts. So if you don't know whether you'll be called upon to recite the Sanskrit, you might want to spend some time listening to it before the class so that, you know.
Yes.
Sorry about that, Kathy. I know you have to leave, so we should give you time to read it.
No, that's okay. Translation. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it even if I win prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
Although purported by His Grace, purported by Srila Prabhupada, although Arjuna was putting forward so many arguments based on knowledge of the principles of religion and moral codes, it appears that he was unable to solve his real problem without the help of the spiritual master, Lord Sri Krishna. He could understand that his so-called knowledge was useless in driving away his problems, which were drying up his whole existence, and it was impossible for him to solve such perplexities without the help of a spiritual master like Lord Krishna. Academic knowledge, scholarship, high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, the conclusion is that a spiritual master who is 100% Krishna conscious is the bona fide spiritual master, for he can solve the problems of life. Lord Chaitanya said that one who is a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his social position, is the real spiritual master. Next one.
Kiba vipra kiba nyasi shudra kene noya ye Krishna tatpavita se guru hoya. Next one, please.
It does not matter whether a person is a Vipra, learned scholar in Vedic wisdom, or is born in a lower family, or is in the renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, he is the perfect and bona fide spiritual master. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 8.128. So, without being a master in the science of Krishna consciousness, no one is bona fide spiritual master. It is also said in the Vedic literature, Shatkarmani Puna Vipra Mantra Tantra Visharadaha Avishanava Guru Nashyad Vaishnava Shapacho Guruha. Okay, Mataji, next
A
person.
scholarly Brahmana, expert in all subjects of Vedic knowledge, is unfit to become a spiritual master without being a Vaishnava or expert in the science of Krishna consciousness. But a person born in a family of a lower caste can become a spiritual master if he is a Vaishnava or Krishna conscious. Padma Purana.
Hare Krishna. The problems of material existence, birth, old age, disease, and death, cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. In many parts of the world, there are states which are replete with all facilities of life, which are full of wealth and economically developed. Yet the problems of material existence are still present. They are seeking peace in different ways, but can achieve real happiness only if they consult Krishna or the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, which constitute the science of Krishna. Through the bona fide representative of Krishna, the man in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
If economic development and material comfort could drive away one's lamentation for family, social, national, or international inebrities, then Arjuna would not have said that even an unrivaled kingdom on earth or supremacy like that of the demigods in the heavenly planets would be unable to drive away his lamentations. He sought, therefore, refuge in Krishna consciousness, and that is the right path for peace and harmony. Economic development or supremacy over the world can be finished at any moment by the cataclysms of material nature. Even elevation into a higher planetary situation, as men are now seeking on the moon planet, can also be finished at one stroke. The Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Kshine punyam martyalokam vishanti. When the results of pious activities are finished, one falls down again from the peak of happiness to the lowest status of life. Many politicians of the world have fallen down in that way. Such downfalls only constitute more cause for lamentation.
Therefore, if we want to curb lamentation for good, then we have to take the shelter of Krishna, as Arjuna is seeking to do. So Arjuna asked Krishna to solve his problem definitely, and that is the way of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, the best part, reflection time. And while you're thinking about the reflection, I'd like to welcome Rajiv and Praveen Prabhu and Max Gray Prabhu also. Welcome to have you here. And there was a reflection from the Vigyapti Panchika prayer that I forgot to pick up. And since it's from Vinu Koli Mataji, I have to pick it up. And she says the word that she remembers there is the river of nectar. Okay, very good. Reflection.
Arjuna, Arjuna is basically surrendering that whatever he will gain, how prosperous it might be, he's not gonna be happy or he's not gonna be enjoying those after fighting. And Prabhupada is answering very nicely, like with our materialistic vision. I see having a kingdom would be very nice, but Prabhupada have explained very nicely why that is not the case and why one should aim for the real happiness and the goal.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, and I really like Mataji, like the Arjuna is realizing, right, that even if he wins, it's not going to give him happiness. How many times we ask something to Krishna that we think that will not give us happiness and we still ask, right? Not many times. It increases our pride, like whatever we ask. Not to Krishna, but in the material world, right? But Arjuna, I mean, again, what we discuss, he is fit for liberation because he knows even in the achievement how to stay humble, right?
Yes.
Although here, like he's saying, in terms of not doing his duty, which Krishna will definitely take away that. But I thought that is really something which is true, right? You give auspicious and inauspicious results of everything of what we do.
Exactly, and material usually inauspicious.
Yeah.
So give me an example. Give me an example from the Shastras. Anybody can jump in of somebody who asked for something, and there was misery and joy both.
Hiranyakashipu,
Okay, and elaborate on that, please. Yes.
he asked for so much power that he could rule the world, even the demigods and everyone, and then it caused so much misery because he gave them so many misery, and then demigods prayed to Lord Krishna, and Krishna came in the form of Narsimhadev to take care of him.
Okay, so he asked for powers. He got the powers, but then they were finally taken away from him.
Yes.
Yes. Any other examples from the scriptures?
Mataji,
Okay, one at a time. I heard Priyanka first.
okay, Mataji. So I don't know if this example is right, but that's coming to my mind right now. Example of Dhruv Maharaj. So Dhruv Maharaj asked for material gain, but then he got the spiritual position also. But then he was also given his material desire. He was fulfilled, but that also caused him misery later, like when he was ruling the kingdom, he kind of got carried away, and but
Yes.
then at the end he again was freed from all that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like habu dubu is how Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that habu dubu basically means that if somebody catches you by the hair and dunks you in the water and then takes you out and you have a little time to take a breath and then you are dunked in back again. This is the situation. This is our situation in the material world, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur says habu, like you came out, dubu, you have gone inside again. Right? This is the material world. The sooner we realize that, and then even more importantly, the sooner we accept it, that this is what it is, then we will become like Arjuna, right? He's seeking help from his spiritual master. More examples from the Shastras. Shastras are full of these examples of, I'll give you a hint of Harsh and Shok.
Harsha Shoka.
Yes, please elaborate a little bit more. Which story am I talking about?
I'm not Mataji, I can't recollect the
You
whole
can't
story.
recollect? Okay, Chitraketu. He wanted a son and he begged for a son.
Yes, Mataji. He wanted a son, and God blessed him that you will get a son. Not that Brahmana
Angira
blessed
Rishi.
him that you will
Angira.
get a son, but he will give you a Angira, and that he will give you a Shok. He said, no problem, give him to, I need a son. And he gets a son, and his other wives, so they get jealous of this wife because he started loving her more because she gave him a son, and they poison him, and in the return, then all the you see, he dies. When he dies, then he is really, I mean, in sorrow.
Happy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Then,
Thank you so much.
then Mataji, after this, Mataji, is this correct that and then he wants to come back to life, and then they bring him back, but he cannot recognize his father and mother
Yes.
or anybody.
Not recognize. He doesn't accept it. He recognizes them. He says, well, which father? Because I have so many fathers in my previous life.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are right, Mataji.
Yeah. So it's about recognizing and accepting. Yes, very good. Very good citation, Rajana Mataji, and to the point. Yeah, very good. Yeah, so yes, good. More reflections. And Achyuta Radhe Mataji is saying that there was one verse where we see, and this is from the previous verse that she's quoting that we have read, that Arjuna's heart for his family and at the same time non-attachment to material pleasure. So he's attached and removed both at the same time. Yes, Arjuna is fit to receive knowledge from the spiritual master. Okay, good. What else?
Mataji, means Arjuna had so many arguments with Krishna that I don't want to do that, I don't want to abandon my family, or I cannot fight with them. But ultimately, he surrendered to Krishna, and he realized that he needs a guru. So, in our life also, we have to, means without a spiritual master or guru, we cannot forward with the devotional service, or we cannot progress. But we have to know that we should go to a, a spiritual master who has the Vedic knowledge full, means he is totally surrendered into Krishna consciousness. Maybe he is born in a lowest family, it doesn't matter, means what, that is the realization. Means you, means like patha pradarshak, means that who can show you the right path to do the devotional service right way, in a right way.
Yeah, yes, very, very good. And yeah, this is the essence of, ISKCON and Prabhupada's teachings, is that, you have to take a spiritual master and he has to be knowledgeable in our scriptures, right? And that's why in this purport he quotes, and he says, Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kene Noya, Yehi Krishna Tattva Veti Sei Guru Hoya. And he says, doesn't matter whether a person is a learned person or whether he's a low family, like a dog eater kind of a person, right? But if he's master of the science of Krishna, then he is fit to, become a guru, and he's a bona fide spiritual master. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, can I add to Sutapa Mataji's this thing a little here?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yes. Mataji, another thing I feel I'm adding to her this thing. Another thing very important is that how to come to know that who is the real guru, and that association tells you that, you see, because they have already experienced the guru, and they will be able to guide us where to go and how to find the right guru. So Shiksha Guru and your association is also very important to find the right master.
Yes.
And I give credit to you.
Okay, Zoom ate it up. That's good.
No, I said I gave
no need to repeat that.
No, because Mataji, you guided me at that time. You guided me at that time.
Yes, yeah. Good. Okay. Now here we have Nisdham Prabhu, who has also joined us, and he's giving this fantastic story. And I'll just, give it a little, I'll just mention that because it's a very nice story, and we should pick it up some other time when we have a lot more time to do that. But it's a very nice story. And so Vijay Lakshmi Mataji, thank you so much for joining us here. And so Nisdham Prabhu is saying that, Atmaram Brahmar, he got Dunduki and Gokarna. And these are two, sons that he gets. And then one of them gives him Harsha and one of them gives him Shoka, right? So it's a very, very nice story. It's from the Bhagavatam. And thank you so much, Nisdham Prabhu, for sharing this fantastic one. Yeah. And then Bhakta Max Gray Prabhu says, and which is very nice. Thank you so much for that. He's saying, I am Habu Dubu every day. Thank you for that, for that honest confession. So he's saying that Arjuna says many times in the Bhagavad Gita that, yes, I understand. And then again, he gets confused, right? And then he keep on asking questions, This is all the way and up until the end of Bhagavad Gita that happens, right? And this is so fantastic that you bring this point up, because I was just thinking, Arjuna, did you not surrender in the last verse? And again, you are starting now. 8 again. Like this is what is called as being haunted by doubts. You're haunted. They keep on coming after you. Okay. Now, one thing about the doubts is that it's okay to have doubts, because doubting is a sign of intelligence. It's a sign of intelligence that you doubt. You're using your intelligence. You're weighing, deliberating. Is this right? Is this not right? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? You're doing that kind of, intense thinking going on over there, right? But, however, you should not let the doubts just stay like that and hang around. Don't let them hang around you, because they'll give you bad association. As Varshana Mataji was saying, right? You require the right association so that people can guide you in the right directions. So it's not good to be living with doubt. So you should do something to address your doubts, right? And we have talked so much about Arjuna's seeing, right? He talks about seeing, 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 and seeing, right? Does he do any seeing here in this particular verse? Did he use the word something related with seeing?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Paschati or something?
Yeah,
Paschati.
bring it up. Yes, you're right. Bring up the verse.
Prachati, prachati.
Prachati is very different. Very different. Prachati means to ask. Sanskrit language is like
Mataji, prapashyami.
Yes.
Prapashyami. Prapashyami. I see. See, he started again. we had seen that, you know what, so there's one thing that we see certain things, right? And so you are seeing it. And so when you see things and you're seeing, there's some confusion out there, so some doubt which has come into your mind. So what you have to do is that, you know, you have to put a lid on this doubt, right? So when the doubts are coming, you put a lid. So that's how you remember L. How do you spell lid? Varshana Mati.
L-I-D.
L-I-D.
So tap up BT to it. Okay, L-I-D. So L stands for look. Okay, so please take note of that. L stands for look. I stands for inquire. And D stands for do. Right?
Okay.
So you look around, with your senses, and, you know, you perceive something and some doubts have come, then you go and inquire. You go and talk to your teacher. And then the teacher is going to give you instructions. And then what do you do after the instructions? You take them into a notepad nicely and never do it. Is that how it should be?
No, you take action, Mataji.
You have to take action, right? So lid. The only way that you can put a lid, na dhakkan laga diya, usko dibbe mein dalo, dhakkan laga diya for the doubts, right? You put them in a box and you put a lid on top of it. How do you do that? You look, you inquire, and you do it, then it won't come back to you again. Follow the instructions of the spiritual master, right? Of the teacher. Yeah. So, yeah, and then Bhakta Max is saying that you know, you have to request to be taken out of the water from the habu dubu, to be taken out of the water. And the funny thing is that, you know, the spiritual master sometimes wants to take you out of the water, and we don't want to come out of the water. We like it there. We like it. Our little harsha shokas, you know, that are there in our life. We like them. We want to stay there. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, you come across this fantastic story where one of his, you know, close associates went off with the gypsies. And you know what the gypsies are? They move from one place to another place, and they use their women to attract other men so that they can join their clan and they can work. So gypsies usually, you know, make some instruments and things like that, and then they also steal. I remember there were a lot of gypsies where I used to live. There were not a lot because they're always on the move. They go from one place to another place to another place. They're always on the move. They never stay in one place. And they used to have, you know, fire and bellows and things like that. They used to make instruments and sort of fire and that. And yeah. If you're in a noisy background, please mute yourself. So, and they steal also. So as soon as they steal something nice from that city, they move out of that city so that nobody can catch them. And so he went away with them, and he would not come back. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually went there and literally dragged him out of that, you know, and brought him back. So sometimes the spiritual master has to really drag us out of the water where we want to, you know, where we want to go. Yeah, very good.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, you said lid, look, inquire, and do. Mataji, can you tell me in one sentence what did you explain?
In one sentence, I said, look, inquire, and do. I was saying that when you have got doubts, right? When you look around, you'll have doubts, right? And to put an end to that doubt, like you put the doubt in a box and put a lid on it so it never comes back to you again. You have to inquire from the spiritual master.
Inquire.
And then do whatever he asks you to do.
Okay. Thank you, Mother.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. more reflections on this.
Mataji, I like the point where Arjuna says that, or Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that with our so-called education and scholarly whatever, we cannot solve even the material problems with that knowledge. That's why you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master.
Very nice.
Yes, yes. More on that? Yeah. Anybody else wants to add more to that? Okay. More.
Yeah.
reflections? Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, these days so many facilities are being given to the citizens in the country that, okay, you will get this facility, that facility, in the offices also, in the schools also. And you see, facilities are given to facilitate the people. But unfortunately, they are making them lazy, Mataji.
And in which way?
In which way? Like Mataji, sometimes we get used to the facilities so much, and if one of them is missing, and we get confused, and we do not know how to manage without it.
So give me an example of something that is missing.
Like Mataji, in the we give so many facilities to the children, like you see, laptop and phone, iPad, everything children have. And if the internet is not there, they create such a havoc in the house that they have nothing to do.
I see. You're saying that too much of dependence on technology. So basically, what I
Yes.
get from yours is that they are leaning towards one side, complete dependence. And if the internet is not there, or if I lost my calculator, how do I multiply two figures? And
Multiply.
or to 6 plus
And
7.
Mataji, in our times, I remember when we used to multiply, Mataji, then we had the tables. I mean, they were mental calculations used to be there. And my husband does it very well, Mataji. And he doesn't need any calculator or anything. He does it
So why do you
just
think?
in
Why
minutes.
do you think in this? Why do you think in this age we have got all these things? Why do you think they have? Why do you think Krishna allowed? Right? Because Bhagavad Gita says that there are 5 factors to an action. So there must be some sanction that Krishna is giving somewhere, right? So why do you think? Why do you think these things have come up? Like you said, your husband remembers the tables very nicely because he memorized them. And of course, if you go to his father and his grandfather, they must have been, very good at maths, mental maths, that, so to speak, right? So why do you think these things have? Why do you think these things it is happening like that?
Mataji, because Krishna knows that we have short memories, and
Yeah,
this is the reason he provided this technology.
exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah, that is the reason. So you see that, and this was thing, Varshana, that in the first chapter of Bhagavatam, when the sages are of Naimisharanya, they are sitting and they are asking the questions. So the head, Sonakati, actually, he says that Prana Alpa Yupa Sabhya Kalav Asmin Yoge Jana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadrutaha. So he says that if you learned one in this age of Kali, men are going to be several things, and he lists them. They are short-lived, they are quarrelsome, they are lazy, they are misguided, unlucky, and above all, they always disturb. So it is this shortage of memory actually that prompted Vyasadeva first to document all the Vedas, the Mahabharata, the Gita, write it down, because before that, people used to be, Shrutidhar. You listen and then you remember. So there was no need for any kind of a books to be written down like that. But so this is the thing. So that's why we now have got calculators, because we know that even if he asks you to sit down and memorize the tables, you will not be able to do it because of the consciousness like that, because the consciousness is too materially oriented. But you have noticed that those who are taking to devotional service, which includes, some who are on this Zoom call, have memorized Sanskrit verses, right? What about the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers, right? They're all coming to you. So if you go and do that, and that is why Prabhupada is saying that you spread this Krishna consciousness all over the world. You bring this important information to people, because that's the one. Even with that, even or not even, despite the fact that we have a short life, we are lazy, we're quarrelsome, this, and this. If we take to spiritual life, then Kali Yuga actually is the best time and the best place, and this earth is the best place to be, because in a short life, so we heard all these negative qualities, right? So we are short-lived. Okay, what's the good out of that? The good out of that is that in one lifetime you can go back to Godhead, because you're short-lived. If you try really hard, you can do that, right? You're quarrelsome, so good thing is that you know how to quarrel, right? So the only thing is that now you have to quarrel with your anarthas. So all the techniques and all the mental faculties that you use to fight with your enemies for a material thing, what is called in Hindi as the daw and page, the positions and whatever you're going to do for fighting, you can use all of that for fighting your anarthas, right? You are lazy. People are lazy in devotional service. You can become lazy in material things, like that. So you see, whatever is giving about to you, that you can always twist it around and use it in the favor of Krishna, like that.
Correct.
I'm unlucky. The people say
Nice.
they're unlucky. Where is the money? Where is the money these days, right? People don't have money to perform a yagya. If a pandit comes, we are just thinking what to give him, $21, 51, what, and look at the stories that you hear in the Bhagavatam. People were giving millions of cows in donation, like that, right? And the cows were wearing jewelry, gold jewelry, in the ankle bells. Cows were wearing ankle bells. So think about the ladies, right? So we are unlucky. That way we don't have any money. But then we hear and listen to what Kunti Maharani is saying. What does Kunti Maharani say? Kunti Maharani says that Janno Aishwara Shruta Shibi Edamana Mandapuna never avarti abhidhatum ve tam, tam akinchana gochara. So she says that, if you have got all these riches and big family lineage and things like that, it doesn't help you. You have to be a gochar. So it's good that I'm unlucky. It's good that I'm not a king of a kingdom and I have to think of so many things. It's good that I don't have money, like that, So, and above all, always disturbed. Yes, people are disturbed. They're always disturbed by this and that, and the biggest disturbance comes from our mind. And your mind can disturb you in another way also. So in the beginning, your mind is your enemy and disturbs you in a certain way, right? And takes you and makes you run after all the material objects. But later on, the same mind can again come and disturb you. And it's like people come and tell me that I'm in this family and the family eat meats, and my father is saying eat this, but I'm very disturbed. So you see, you can also be disturbed in the material, in this life, by being disturbed at the material aspects of the thing. Like, no, I'm disturbed that my senses give me trouble. I'm disturbed that my senses want to eat this. I'm disturbed by my anarthas, like that. So you see, all the 5, 6 qualities, whatever listed in this verse, they can be utilized again in the service of Krishna. It's just that you have to change your perceptive. And again, perception has got to do with seeing, and which is what we have been focusing on right from chapter number 1, on how Arjuna sees things and how he does not see things. And Prabhupada in the purport is talking about that this and that is not going to solve the problems of life. Now, what is, because and he's saying that Arjuna has realized it. Arjuna has realized that. That's why he says Rajyam Suranam Api Chadipatyam, that even if I get prosperity and sovereignty like the demigods in the heaven, right? That's what he says in this verse, that I will not be. It will not drive away my grief. My grief will not go away. And then Prabhupada is explaining that he's understood that this money and all that is not going to solve the problem of life. So that brings the question that, do we even know what the problems of life are? Right? What are the problems of life?
Thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we know it's Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi.
There you go. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we know it. We did not realize it. Our biggest problem was that such and such person doesn't do this. My spouse is giving me grief. Nobody likes me. I don't like my nose, and this and that. I need to get a job done, like that. No. Right? So that is what, and so Varshana, back to your comment on we have got so many devices here, right? This and that, iPad, iPhone. You have to utilize all that in the service of the Lord. And that's why this yuga
Yeah.
is also known as the Kali Yuga. The word Kali also means machines. So this is the yuga of the machines, right? I mean, you remember our moms used to wash clothes with their hands, at least in India,
Yeah.
or grandmothers for
Mhm.
sure, everybody's, right? But now
Yeah.
we have machines that do everything. What are the things that machines do, which ladies used to do earlier? Can you list me some?
Yeah.
Washing the clothes.
Washing machine, mixer, you see,
Yeah.
and yeah, food processor, all these
E-
things, Mataji. That
Even
And
now
even
Mataji,
gas
dishwasher in
nowadays,
US. Dishwasher.
Dishwasher.
Mataji, even nowadays, roti maker also. You don't need to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's the thing. So we are trying to seek happiness, right? We are trying to seek happiness, this and that. Oh my goodness, the ladies were so happy, I can tell you, when the pressure cooker arrived.
Yes,
Right?
Mataji.
And then the gas arrived,
Yes, gas
right?
is
So,
another.
so, so,
Yes,
so we are trying, so we know that this life is full of perplexities and we are seeking peace in different ways. But then,
Mataji, I have seen actually everything, Mataji, in my life. That angiti used to be there. That koila angiti we used to
fire
like.
buckets, yeah. Fire
Yes,
buckets.
in bucket, fire bucket. We used to use that, and after that the gas came, and after that you see the cooker. When my brother got married, she brought it in her this thing dowry. So that was the first one to come to the house, the cooker.
Yeah. So the thing there is that to achieve real happiness, you should only they should consult Krishna, and which is, how do you consult Krishna? You can't get an appointment. He's not there in your medical list of doctors to 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 give medicines for this ailment that we have, which is, I have birth and I have death, I have old age and disease.
I was 7 years old when we got the cooker at home.
Yeah. Okay, we're done with the cooker. So we have Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have to take consultation from Krishna like that, by reading Bhagavad Gita and by reading Srimad Bhagavatam like that, right?
Correct.
We have to remember, we have to remember that economic development, material comforts, etc., if they could drive away your your problems in life, then Arjuna will not say that. And I think for those of us who have come from India, or from other countries into USA, which used to be the place to be, they realize it very soon that all these riches do not bring you peace here.
Yeah.
And Devamitra Maharaj, who has written a book, if you're in a noisy environment, please, I beg you, please mute yourself. And then, so begging doesn't help.
Mataji, if you can just mute everybody.
Mataji, that
All right, there we go. Okay, but you can unmute yourself to share your reflections. And then, so I lost my thought in all that process. What was I talking about? Can anybody tell me what I was talking?
Yeah, Krishna, if material things will help, then Krishna would not have told so many things. In the Bhagavad Gita, we would not need
Yeah. So never mind, it'll come back. Yeah, so let's continue with the next reflection here. We have a few more minutes. And this is a big chapter, things will continue to work, yeah. Right?
So Mataji, if
I just have
anybody,
one question.
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let's take the question. Yeah. Who has the question?
I have
No,
the question.
Mataji, it was a different question, so please tell. Ishwari Radha Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay.
There are two
So
questions.
I've heard this before, Mataji, and I just want you to clarify again. You know how we say that we shouldn't hate the sinner, but hate the sin. How do you really do that?
How do you really do that? It's a practice.
Yeah.
It's a practice, right? Then the first thing is to get the knowledge, right? First thing is you got the knowledge that this is what you're supposed to do, right? And I would take it a little bit further, that hate is a very extreme thing. Devotees don't hate anything, right? You stay in the neutral zone, in the middle. between attachment, extreme attachment and hatred. You stay in the middle and observe and apply your Shastra. Okay? So when you see, give me an example of a sin that you hate.
Meat eater.
You
Or eating meat,
right? So what happens to you when you see a person, stuffing a burger in their mouth?
I feel a little disgusted.
You feel disgusted, right? Now, who is suffering that emotion? The burger eater or you?
It's me. We,
Yes,
Mataji, because the
Right.
irritation we are having.
You're having the irritation, right? And a devotee is dhira. He does not, in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, slowly it'll come when he's asking Sita Pagyata Ka Bhasha, right? How does he sit? How did he stand? And things like that. And Krishna later on, he says that you should be like an ocean. So many rivers come into ocean. Rivers flow very fast, right? And they come into the ocean. And for majority of the time, the ocean is calm and quiet, right? So this is what, and that is why Krishna in the 14th chapter will talk about the modes of material nature, right? Ignorance, sleeping, passion to do something, disgust, hatred, anger, all mode of passion. He says, no, to raise yourself, go to the mode of goodness. So how can I rise myself into the mode of goodness? By watching a person eat meat when we know the Shastras prescribe that don't do it, right? So let's look at some of the things that you can do. You can look at it first from the Shastra Chakshu, from the perspective of the Shastra, right? So let's see what are the things that the Shastras tell you about a person who is going to eat meat, what's going to happen to him.
They're gonna have that form of body in their next life. And that's why, when I think about something like that, that's what I'm thinking. Not really hating, but like, oh my goodness, you don't realize the value of life.
Right. You see? So the moment you started applying your Shastras, you realize that you are not hating, it was something else. So we use the word hate so commonly in our conversations, right? I hate this, I hate that, I don't like it. Oh mom, you make these potatoes, I hate potatoes. You don't hate potatoes. You just don't like it. If you don't like something, doesn't mean you hate it. You see? Not liking something is, fine. I'm in the middle. Hate is the other extreme of attachment, where you'll be thinking all the time. Can you tell me of someone who hated somebody else and was thinking of him all the time?
Kansa.
Kansa.
Hating
There you
Krishna.
go. Krishna was doing that, right? So now you see that the act of watching somebody eat meat, and this is what Prabhupada saw when he came here, right? So he saw people are just indulging in so many wrong activities. And then you apply your Shastras again to see, why does a person want to do that? And then you realize that it is his consciousness which is there. And like just now you had the realization, Ishwari Radha, that you don't hate that person. You're just now feeling bad for him, isn't it? Because he does not know, he's in ignorance. He does not know what is lying in store for him. Right? So then when you start applying it like that, actually compassion will come to your heart. And compassion comes to Vaishnavas. Then you will try to do something, to help that person and not hate it.
Mataji, we are also feeling bad for the animal.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how do we apply compassion for the animal?
Yes.
Because he's already dead.
Yes, the animal is already dead. Any ideas what can you do? What can you give to someone who's dead? What is it that you can do?
Pray for him. Pray for the soul.
Pray for the soul.
Prayers are very potent. And this is so funny. When my daughter was applying for colleges, we used to go to different colleges and see, right, the facilities there. So we went to the Stanford University here. And so I was talking to the dean of admissions, and so he had called all the parents and put us in a room. Students were also there, and they were asking questions. And then, of course, I'm from India, so I have Indian background, and for us, studies meant the most. And also, I was from an environment and from a time in history where there were not so many types of varieties of jobs, etc. So, there was only a few things that you did. To succeed, you became a doctor, you became an engineer. like that, right? And to become either one of them, you have to really study hard. So the choices were you study, or you will become somebody very low in economic stature, like that. So study came very naturally to us, that you have, and we took pride in studying. But here, when I came to this country, and maybe because I'd left my country, so I didn't know what was happening there. So I don't know whether it's a country specific thing or whether it's a time specific thing. But nevertheless, what I saw over here was that, studies are okay, but it's good to be cool. The cool guy, which is cool, like that. So, so uh, I was very surprised when I went to Stanford and the dean of admission said, "We like nerds." And nerd was a word that none of the cool students want to be called by as a nerd. Like, oh, he's a nerd, which means he studies all the time. And here was the dean of admission of a prestigious university called Stanford. He's saying that we like nerds. And so similarly here, we are in the University of Prabhupada, right? And he likes nerds. And our nerdiness is determined by how much we pray. So do not neglect that fact. Do not forget that to be a cool devotee of the Lord, Krishna, you have to pray, right? Which is what Arjuna is doing right now. Right? He has accepted him as his doctor, of course, the spiritual master. And then later on, he will pray. He's in the 10th, when he sees in the 11th chapter, when he sees the Vishwaroop, he will say, obeisances to you from the front, obeisances to you from the back, obeisances from you from left and right. Every place he wants to offer obeisances. So praying is very serious thing, Priyanka, and it's very effective, and actually is the only thing that we can do. What can we do?
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, thank you. Mataji, we like the killing with kindness. You mentioned one time, and what my understanding is that we have to do good to someone who is not kind to us. But sometimes we see, Mataji, that we are doing good, we are trying to make him or understand, but nothing is working. So then in that point, what should our behavior, or what should we do? Means we should keep maintaining the distance, or we should show him or her the kindness continuously with our behavior.
So these are the days of Corona, right? You can hide behind the social distancing rule that is there applied to us. So keep distance. Actually, jokes apart, sometimes you can't keep a distance, right? What if it's your spouse who doesn't listen to you? How can you maintain distance? You're living in the same house, right?
Yes.
Right, Isabel? So
Yes.
yeah, isn't it right?
Yeah.
Killing with kindness, and it is amazing. Killing with kindness basically means what Jesus Christ also said, that if somebody slaps you on one face, you throw them the other cheek.
Yes. Mahatma Gandhi.
Mahatma Gandhi propagated that, right? So, and which is what Arjuna is trying to do, right? And that's a different thing. But in our day-to-day activities, if a person you're trying to explain and the person is not listening to you, right? Then we have to look at it from various perspectives. What is our relationship with that person? For example, most of us, when we come to Krishna consciousness, we find it so fantastic and so amazing that the first person that we want to do, and then Prabhupada says, talks about time, and the time is passing away, and then you can die anytime, right? And so who do we think about death? When you talk about death of our near and dear ones, we always think about the death of our parents, right? Because we are so attached to them. So we always think that they will die, they'll die. And then you look at your mom and she's sitting in the front of the television and you are the one with the chanting beads in your head. And now you want to go and preach to your parents, right? They will never listen to you. Why? Because that's a cultural thing. That parents are supposed to educate you. They don't listen to you like that, right? So you are, barking up the wrong tree, so to speak, as the English language goes.
Yeah.
Right? You're speaking to the wrong person, right? So, bring in somebody else. Sometimes they won't listen to you, but they will listen to somebody else. by hook or crook, take them to a congregation where somebody else is speaking, somebody exalted has come and he's speaking, they will listen to them. And that's fine. That is fine, because you have to be focused on the result, right? You wanted that person to get Krishna consciousness. Our thing should not be that I want that person to become Krishna conscious because of me, right? I, mine, me, and that ego that I converted. I made so many people into devotees like that, right? Sometimes you have to just give it up. And especially in the home, because it'll come back to you in many different ways, right? And it'll spoil the relationships and things like that. So we have to act smart like that. Of course, there are friends and acquaintances that you can easily give up.
Yes, Mataji, I'm just talking about that kind of thing, means that kind of relation means is a distant family or maybe friends who are not in here, maybe in India or maybe other part of the world. So how we can like
if people are in the other part of the world, your life is very easy. Why? Because you have to make that phone call to get connected to the other part of the world. And I have come across many devotees who are, sleepy-eyed in the morning. What did you do? Oh, well, I was talking to my sister in India. And, India is like 12 hours away. So I have to talk to her when it is my lifetime, my night time. And it's like, excuse me, why do you have to wake up? And why can't your sister wake up to talk to you? There's so much of love between you and your sister. Why can't your sister wake up at her odd times, right? So there has to be
But
some kind of
isn't
a balance.
Mataji that we as devotee have more compassion?
Yes, but that
And that's
compassion
why.
is misplaced. Yeah, it is misplaced compassion. What are you talking? If you're talking to your sister and you're discussing Bhagavad Gita with her, and because of that you have to stay awake in the night, that's fine. But if you're just talking to a sister because her in-laws are giving her grief, then let her stay in the night, sometimes. So what I'm saying is, be careful that these kind of conversations should not mess up with your devotional practice. Because what can we preach unless we practice our devotional service ourselves? What can we tell her till we have come to that level? So when you were asking the question, kill with kindness, it's a very difficult thing to do. For example, if our spouse comes and shouts at us, we shout back, right? Thinking, willing, feeling, acting all happen in like 1 microsecond.
but nowadays, Mataji,
Killing
we
with
are
kindness.
following what we are learning from the class.
Yes, exactly. And which is a good thing, right? Because you shout back and then they shout back and you shout back and they shout back. And then you stop the shouting and then you start on the emails. The conversation continues, right? WhatsApp, text messages, email. Then you go and talk to somebody else and then it becomes a big thing. Killing with kindness basically means that, how are you behaving? And in the beginning, you might fake it. You might fake it till you make it. And what I mean by that is that inside you are really burning because of what somebody else is doing. And
Mataji,
you
Mataji,
are just let me finish this sentence. And inside you are burning with that anger, but no, that I'm supposed to kill them with kindness. The words, it'll take a lot of efforts for the words to come out from your mouth, but practice let the words come out. So when the other person sees that, that I cannot agitate, they cannot agitate you. You're always speaking sweet words. Their fine speech is what Krishna describes for women, especially. They are known for their fine speech. And you can kill with fine speech. And actually, you can kill by silence.
That is the best method.
And then don't let it all affect you so much. Priyanka.
so Mataji, how do I understand that we should, we should not be worried about the result, but keep doing our duty towards our family members?
Yes. Keep
So
reminding. Keep
just
reminding
keep
yourself.
reminding and not get
Constantly,
bothered by.
yes. Keep reminding yourself. And that's why we say you listen to Krishna Katha here and there as much as possible, because in some or other place, somebody will always be telling you this. that, don't look at the results. Don't look at the results. Watch yourself. Am I doing this? Am I really focusing on this? Okay, I'm doing this, let it come, whatever. I mean, we can get so much worked up for a simple thing. Like, how are the puris going to turn out today? That can be a big cause of grief to somebody. Right? So those are small things. We have bigger problems in life, that death is coming. And we don't know. That is a bigger problem in life. Is that a nice note to leave the class today?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, one thing, yesterday you mentioned that Chit Rakta, that is the spelling is C-I-T or D? C-I-T.
It is both. I said it is both.
Oh.
Right? Yesterday I was explaining and I said this real thing is Chit, which is C-I-T, T as in Turkey, right? But Sanskrit you have got, when you put two words together, then sometimes the last consonant changes the shape, right? And becomes another thing. So when you start to pronounce the two words Chit and Rakta together, then it becomes Chid.
Okay.
Rakta. So now the T becomes the T for turkey becomes a D for dog.
Mm-hmm.
D for dog. And that is why you will see, that's why you'll see that when we are looking at the translation of the verses in what Prabhupada has got in his books there, you will see that in the shloka it says something, but when Prabhupada is giving you the word meaning, the word sometimes slightly changes, right? And you're like, oh, it looks like that there. Why is that a different letter here? Because he has split the word, into separate words, and so the original shape is there. And when it gets merged into another word, so in the shloka it might look a little different. Like he might say manaha and tap. Manaha and tap, two words, and he will give you the meaning of manaha, of the mind, and tap, austerity, right? But when you look at the words on the top, it will say manastap. It's like, oh, where did this S come from? So those are the rules of sandhi, the rules of joining two words together, and it's a language thing. It's Sanskrit language. You have sandhi in Hindi also.
Thank you, Mataji.
You're welcome. Okay, so talking about Sandhi, you're talking about connection. Please spend your day as much as possible connecting yourself with the Lord and do your homework. Vanchikalpatrubhyascha kripasindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha gopremanande. Thank you so much for joining us on the Zoom call as well as joining us here. And there were so many more comments which I didn't have a chance, but thank you so much, Prabhus, for putting your comments there. I'll definitely read them after I finish this class over here. But everybody have a fantastic day here as well. And I'm going to switch off the call now, although I don't like to do that. Have a fantastic